So I decided to come out here and work on some stuff. This is my little sanctuary. This ugly ass man-made pond with algae all over it. My peeps aren't even here. You know about my peeps? The seagulls, or they're not seagulls, they're geese. But yeah, they're usually sitting right over there, but they ain't here today. Maybe it's just too hot for them. I did see 2 possums though. I saw a big one and then I saw a little one and it scurried away. But yeah, I come out here to just be with myself. And I actually come out here a lot more often without the camcorder. So I always get sad whenever I see like videos of people that are like out in the woods or something and they're like filming it, but then I remember that they're probably like me and that they're probably out there like all the time. It's just they randomly decided like, you know, maybe I should shoot a video out here to show that people can come out into the woods and be with themselves and reject the world, if only for a short while, you know? But I know it seems kind of like counterintuitive because, you know, I'm doing this, but this is not a smartphone, it is a camcorder, and so I'll put this up whenever I feel like it. But I have to watch it first, you know? I don't put up videos without watching them. Like, I don't edit my shit. I got this editing software, right? But I'm so technology illiterate by choice that the software that I got wasn't even capable of like doing what I needed to do with my laptop. So I felt pretty stupid because I just like wasted all this money. But you know, I've wasted a bunch of money on a bunch of shit, so whatever. But like, I just kind of figured, well, maybe I'm not supposed to edit my stuff. Maybe I'm supposed to just like put it out there as is. And I mean, that's what a vlog is, you know? But anyway, I did this poster a couple nights ago. It says, question whatever is popular. So I remember when the smartphones came out, and it was only like people with money that could afford them. I remember saying to myself, because nobody else was listening or gave a shit, I remember saying to myself, this is gonna take over the world and it's gonna be terrible. Do you think that I was right, Vortex? Do you think that I was lying to myself? I think I was exaggerating. Well, the reason I brought that up is so I can talk about this. You vote with your pocketbook, okay? The people that run everything know that the majority is just gonna follow suit. They're gonna do whatever's popular. They're gonna get the smartphone because everybody else has a smartphone. And they don't want to be left behind. Okay? That's what people accuse me of. They're like, why do you want to purposely hold yourself back? Why do you want to purposely kill yourself? I mean, I guess people that kill themselves like choose to do that. So it is typically on purpose, but it's like, why would you want to like dumb yourself down? Like, just because something's convenient for you right now doesn't mean that in the long run it's going to be a good thing for you. You know? I just remember growing up and like doing stuff on the computer. And I always hated that shit. I always hated like going to the computer lab. And I hated, what was that class? Is this typing class or whatever? Like, I don't like staring at a screen. I don't know why society enjoys this. I think that, like, they clearly are just bored. They're bored with, like, what this is, you know? They're clearly not aware that they could study themselves and pay attention to things around them and pay attention to their own experience and how they're processing information and, you know, like, that's the whole point of, like, coming out into nature and, like, I'm not saying that this is nature, but it's better than nothing, right? But, like, people don't take it upon themselves to do stuff to keep themselves entertained. They expect somebody else to do it for them. That's why all these people are codependent. They want somebody else to solve their problems. They want somebody else to take care of them. And well, that's all well and good if you find somebody that's worth it, you know? Like, if you find a worthwhile person and they see you as a worthwhile person and you guys both want to create this life together, awesome. Most people ain't doing that shit. Most people are just pathetic and they don't know how to be alone and they just want somebody there. And they're willing to be with a total shithead. Also, they don't have to be alone. I know so many people like this and I pity them. I need to stop feeling sorry for them because they know that I'm an empath, so they always come to me and try to, you know, tell me how that piece of shit deadbeat that they had sexual intercourse with is disappointing them again. Yeah, that's what deadbeats do. That's why they're called deadbeats. But anyway, I mean, I'm not saying that like my selection has been tip top. Okay, I'm not even suggesting that. But I do know that I would much rather be alone than be with somebody that I can't stand most of the time, you know? And it's pretty clear that, like, people aren't satisfied with who they are, and they definitely aren't satisfied with anybody around them because all they do is watch TV, you know? You wouldn't need total strangers to validate you or pay attention to you if you had that in your own life, you know? I don't have a Facebook. I don't do Twitter. People think I'm an idiot for that because I'm a comedian, so it would make sense to do Twitter. I don't think so. I disagree. Twitter makes you stupid. The only select few know how to use Twitter right. I'm one of the select few, and that's why I'm not on it. I use it as a research tool. So yeah, there are plenty of people on there that are like more scientific people, actual doctors. And, you know, they put up a lot of useful information on there. So I know that the site can be used for good things, but I see it just eating people up, essentially. I mean, technology, the whole purpose of it is to completely, like, usurp humanity. And you don't have enough human beings that really value being a human being. So because of that, they're totally taken in by it. And they think I'm out of my fucking mind. But yeah, I just got on Instagram. I don't really tell people about it, just like I don't really tell people about my YouTube or my Rumble. If they find it, they find it, you know? I know that probably seems counterproductive. Because you think, well, aren't you on social media so you can be seen and all that? No, not really. I'm on social media because unfortunately, like, this is the way that the world is, you know? So I'm putting it out there. I'm like the fucking underground. I'm like the college radio station, you know? Think of me like fucking Mark, what's his name? What? I almost said Mark Schmuckerberg. I didn't mean to say Mark Schmuckerberg. I meant to say Paul Westerberg. I'm sorry, I got the wrong Jew. But I'm sorry, I don't know why I said how racist of you. How anti-Semitic of you. No, but I probably shouldn't compare myself to Paul Westerberg. I'm sorry. Like any Replacements fans in the Vortex that are offended by that statement. That was very, very ignorant of me. But yeah, it's like there's always going to be alternatives. You know, there's always going to be like hole in the wall type places. And hole in the wall places aren't going to be advertising themselves because there's a reason why they're a hole in the wall type place. It's like maybe they don't want a bunch of people to know about them. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are a lot of people that see that I'm a pretty authentic person and like they value that shit, and they're just like, well, why wouldn't you want more people to know about you and shit? But it's like, you know, much like the whole more money, more problems, it's like more eyeballs, more problems, you know? If more people start watching you, then you just gotta deal with their bullshit. And that's more people to misunderstand and like misinterpret you. That's more people to try to like derail you from your mission. You know, they're trying to derail my mission. So I guess they don't really have a choice in the matter because, like, you know, they're not really doing anything else, so I don't know. I'm just really lucky that I have a purpose and like I wake up every day and like I remember I used to just be so empty all the time, but I don't feel that way anymore. I wake up every day and I'm like excited to make stuff. I'm excited to do whatever I have to do, whether it's go to work or go to work. It's like just being a creative person, it's like I'm living that artistic life, like no matter what I do. So that's why, like whatever depression I had, I mean, I still have anxiety, I still have depression somewhat, but it's nowhere near the level that it used to be because I'm making things and I'm putting it out there, even though people shit on it, you know? But I can understand, just based off some of the comments I've gotten, like why people don't do that. Because, yeah, like whenever you make an honest effort to reveal yourself and you're like, maybe I should, you know, take a chance. Maybe I should give it a try and see what happens. You know, a lot of people get discouraged because of the negative feedback that they receive. But, you know, I do stand-up. Like, stand-up is it's actually, like, way harder than, you know, just putting yourself out on the internet. You think that the internet would be worse, but it's really not because most of the people on the internet don't have any substance. So if they're going to critique you, like I said, if it's not constructive, like, I don't care. Like, you're obviously not a very good person. You're not saying anything that you think is gonna improve upon what I'm doing. You know, you just want to shit on it. And so it's obviously not for you. But you felt the need to, like, you know, leave a mean comment on the way out. But that's fine. It's not on the way out though. Because they don't fucking leave, they come back. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't. Like I said, people are fucked up in the head. People are so fucked up. Like if I don't like somebody, I fucking avoid them. I don't like spy on them. You know, like people that I work with that I don't like. You know, if I see their car, I'm not gonna like put little notes on their car and be like, fuck you, bitch. You know, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna try to avoid them. Gonna leave them alone, and hopefully they leave me alone. And if we have any kind of contact, it's gonna be minimal. I'm gonna make sure of that, you know? And it's not because I'm afraid of, like, you know, oh, you're gonna insult me or something like that. Whatever. Whatever. It's like a lot of times people just don't like each other, you know? And that's okay. Like, you go your way, I go mine. We don't have to be friends with everybody. We don't have to agree with everybody. That's the glory of living in America, right? 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 You think that Americans would be really respectful of other people's opinions because, you know, freedom is what this whole country is based on, but no. No, 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 no. You think that Americans would just be brimming with creativity and so excited to wake up every day so they can make stuff in the freest country where they can just do whatever they want, right? No. No, 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 no. They just want to watch Netflix and Hulu, and then they go on YouTube and complain about things. It's like if you try to be constructive, if you try to be positive, if you try to like motivate people to do something, they don't want to hear that. Because they want to feel sorry for themselves, and they want an excuse to continue to feel sorry for themselves. And so it's like you have all these fucking losers that are bonding over their hatred of personal growth. And you know, I just... I can't stop shitting on the sheep. Nicholas told me to stop doing that. He was like, you need to be nicer to the sheep. Sheep aren't nice to me, honey. And this is my creative outlet. I can shit on them all I want. You should see how nice I am to them in the real time. So that's the thing, like anybody that does something like this internalizes a lot, you know? Artistic people tend to be pretty empathic, you know? My ability to understand another person's experience comes from my desire to solve problems, my desire to help people, my desire to better myself, you know? And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm humble bragging, but at some point we're all gonna sound self-righteous. I know I will. I know I will. I'll just own it. But it's funny, they'll try to use anything against you. Like, if you, like, openly admit all your flaws, people are going to get mad because of that. And they're going to say, well, you're arrogant about that. Well, in all fairness, I have every right to be arrogant about that. Because if you look at society, it's almost like they're excited to be miserable. They're, like, competing over their self-inflicted misery. And... you know, I'm not a miserable person anymore. I used to be. But just because I seem sad or angry sometimes, that's just life, baby. That's just part of it. You know? And that's what makes me so inclined to do shit like stand-up. Or do shit like these posters. They pay attention to stuff that we do. They pay attention to the products that we buy. They pay attention to the fact that all the plebeian sheep do what plebeian sheep do best and just go along, okay? They pay a lot of attention to that. That's why all those towers went up. And people were like, well, we didn't vote for that. And let me tell you, there are enough people that are against it. You shouldn't have to vote for anything, dude. Like, if people really wanted to, in this country anyway, they could, like, create their own separate society. I mean, the Amish already have. Mennonites already have. There's this little hippie commune, like 45 minutes down the road from me. It's Summertown. They already have, okay? So, it's just gonna seem like some sort of, like, compound, you know, or a cult. It's gonna seem like that's the outside world, and maybe it is. But I look at everything else like it's so cultish. You know? Sports are a cult. Politics are a cult. All this stuff involving technology and hashtags and, you know, these political events we pay so much attention to. That's a cult. All these little slogans, like people repeat the slogans, they repeat the hashtags. How is that not culty behavior, dude? It's just, I just call it like I see it, you know, and I just see all these things as like very, very similar. So, it's like, yeah, you could avoid porn. You could not be whacking off with your penis. But if you're like going online and just like getting into this banter with other people that you don't even know, like on a personal level, but you're like arguing with strangers about politics and religion and just different things, and everyone's trying to one-up each other, everybody's trying to win, you know, it's like, how is that not a form of masturbation? Okay, but it's like, it just seems like people get off in these really weird-ass ways. And we can't just get ourselves off. And I don't mean what you think I mean. Okay, I mean, this gets me off. Like, being able to do a poster that means something to me. I don't care if it means something to you. I don't care if you fucking hate it. I don't care if you fucking spit on it. You know, I mean, please don't actually spit on it. I mean, I guess maybe it would make the colors run a little bit if there was saliva on it. I don't know. There are artists that, you know, they pee all over their shit and they put menstrual blood on it. I'm not going to be that gross. I'm not a feminist anyway, so we're not going to make degenerate art. But, you know, I remember this tweet that Lauren Southern sent a long time ago, where she was like, why aren't there more conservative artists? The reason why there aren't more conservative artists, Lauren, I know you're not listening, but maybe you'll find me one of these days. The reason why there aren't more conservative artists is because I think a lot of people are ashamed of it. They're ashamed of, like, being a little bit more idealistic about what they want from society. But I also think it's because conservatives in general are not artistic people. I mean, I think we all can be creative, just like we can all make babies, unless there's something wrong with us. We can all do these things, it's just a lot of people choose not to. And the reason why they choose not to is because they think that they're not going to be any good at it. You know? I mean, I get it. But with art, though, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I'm not trying to win some fucking Nobel Prize or a Pulitzer Prize. It'll be Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer Prize, what else? What else? Academy Award, Grammy, whatever the fuck. I don't need any of that shit. The point isn't recognition. The point is to feel better. It's therapy, okay? I mean, so if you tell me not to do it, you're not just telling me to not do therapy for myself. You're telling me to not do that for the people that it helps. That's why I don't tell other comedians, like, oh, you suck, or you're not funny, or something like that. First of all, it's none of my business, like, what they talk about, or how they carry themselves, or whatever the fuck. It's none of my business. But second, that is so fucking wrong. I think it's like an act of blasphemy or some shit to tell somebody that they shouldn't make something all because I don't like what they made. You know? That's like these people are like, don't have kids because the world is bad. It's like, I mean, I get it, the world is bad, but like, telling somebody to not do what like we're biologically and psychologically prone to do all because you don't agree with it, you're fucked up, man. You're fucked up. Anyway. Sorry, that was a rant. But yeah, I just think about people that have like reached out to me and like thanked me for saying what I'm saying, and like they tell me how much they appreciate it. So it's like anyone that wants to shit on that and be like, well, nobody's gonna listen to you. It's like, I mean, well, you listen to it, you disagree with it, but you listen to it, so obviously you're lying. You're a liar. Goodbye. Goodbye, liar. Okay? People listen to it. They might not agree with it. They don't apply it. That's what you meant. They're not going to apply anything I say. This is true. If that's what you meant, then you are correct, son. Okay? But if I inspire one fucking person, then I did my job. If I make one person laugh, I did my job. If I make one person feel seen, I did my job. If I empathize with somebody's situation, make them feel less alone, I did my job. Okay? Are you doing your job? What's your job? To fucking shit on people on the internet? That's your fucking job? That's why you get up in the morning? That's why you fucking scroll? You useless sack of shit? I mean, seriously, what? Well, they're not useless, because you did this whole video about it, so yeah, that's true. That's true. Mazel tov, right? Mazel tov. I'm just gonna assume everybody's Jewish because that's how they act. No offense, Ronit. I know she wouldn't take offense to that because she's never who I'm bitching about, ever. Like, if I ever say anything that sounds even remotely anti-Semitic, it's never her. And she knows that shit because she's one of the few good Jews. Alright? It's okay. Jesus would agree with me. And Jesus was a Jew!